So first, let me turn on monetization. Media. Alright, now for details. Now let me just add that new thumbnail I downloaded.
See, I can never my ass stand at base.
Who's in the background?
Oh, just my friends. Yo, 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 it is your boy, Combo Heaven, coming at you with one of the most requested final verdicts and one of the most requested characters to get a combo guide. It is Johnny Cage. So this is our definitive final verdict slash live guide slash blah, 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 blah. The point is, this is another extension of Heaven Academy, where we will now discuss the final power level of Johnny Cage at the end of MK1's life cycle. And helping us determine that goal is Rizzy Sigma, one of the strongest Johnny Cage players in the entire world, and one of the youngest competitive players from Mortal Kombat 1. He's not a day over 14, I believe. Rizzy, say hi to everybody.
What's up, guys?
All right, so the way this works is that we pick all of our so you control the pace of this stream. But theoretically, the way it works is that you pick all of the teams that you have even a base level understanding of how they work, how you like to play them, what they're effective on, how it covers. You know, you got to talk about everything. You got to talk about the game plan, the combos, the techniques, matchup charts, and how each team can benefit or disenfranchise a certain matchup. And overall, what every single cameo offers Johnny and what completes his kit. Without further ado, the floor is yours.
So, like, basically, you know, I'm a Johnny Trem main. I used to main Cyrax, so I believe it's best if we start with Tremor. You know, it's always best, in my opinion, to either stick with crystalline form, because you can either transmutate down metallic, so if you, like, shadow kick, you can go into that, jump in, and get a little hard to block, or just some plus frames. Or, you know, if you're in crystalline, you can little hard to blocks, you know, 2-1-4-4, 2-1-2, or 4-3-4. Or if you're a weirdo, you can use 3-3, which is you know, all plus frames. You know, Tremors guiding you. You know, combos. You know, the basics, 2-1-2s. You know, extensions. You know, you can always uppercut at the end. Something like this. You know, 42% in the corner. Or you want to go shadow kick, which is 44, I believe. You can also do something like this, which is kind of it's a bit tricky to time. You see, if you're good with it, you can go behind them and get a jump too for a little bit more damage, but it's not really the most consistent route, so it's probably not the best you can do. You know, there's hard to block that I talked about. Does a decent amount of damage for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's not disgusting at all.
Yeah, it's very chuddy, I know. I forgot to mention this one. I messed it up, but you know, you get the gist of it.
So one thing that has consistently made Johnny Cage a higher tier character is his fundamental design. In my opinion, Johnny Cage is probably the most complete base character in the game. I believe Johnny Cage is the only character that has a fully intact game plan, irregardless of cameo. What I mean is that Johnny Cage's game plan, from what I understand, is pretty consistent across most of the cast. I mean, most of his cameo rosters. So he can theoretically use any cameo, because all this character wants to do is hit you, do some damage, end with this, and then it's safe jump or hard to blockable or something in between, something disgusting. That's kind of all this character has to be, because he is this character is the titular rushdown character. He's the best rushdown character. Hell, if you're a snob about it, you could argue he's the only rushdown character in the game. This character benefits from his frame data, the recovery he has on all of his moves on block, how convenient they are. And while he doesn't have the best range in the world overall, one thing that a lot of people will never give Johnny enough credit for is that he has great range for the moves up close. So his up-close moves have really good advancing range. So obviously he doesn't have a Conan or Homelander forward 4, but you're not backdashing Johnny. There are a lot of characters that kind of like to play footsies, and you can kind of backdash out of their footsie game. You can't really do that with Johnny, especially not with Johnny. This is disgusting. I don't know how many times I've gotten back 3 to the face for trying to backdash. Hell, even on my turn. Like, this shit is climbing its many. Why is this a mid? Why is it 10 frames? Why does Johnny Cage have a 10-frame mid that goes? But this is his most ranged normal, I believe. This is his most ranged attack. His most ranged attack is a meterless launcher that's borderline impossible to punish from max distance. So if Johnny faces it up powerful, if Johnny spaces this out properly, I can't punish it. Like, what is this? Hold on, let me try and figure it out. What is this? So, Exhibit A of why this character is kind of annoying. You can't punish that. No. Unless you're Johnny Cage himself, you can't punish this move. Because minus 13 with maximum pushback, really hard to time. A dash up 1-1 is a just frame punish. So this is privilege. This privilege cannot be understated. So whenever Johnny Cage does anything even slightly minus, like his -6 string, or this nonsense, like anything where it could theoretically be the opponent's turn, the opponent will most likely try to backdash because Johnny Cage's frames are better. They're gonna die for this. And that's only if the character has a good backdash. Like, let's say you're fighting Katana or Kenshi, that's where you would use this. If you're not Katana or Kenshi, Johnny Cage doesn't even need to risk his life with back 3, because he could just use forward 3 instead. Because this is also a forward advancing normal that's hit confirmable and it's 9 frames. Johnny Cage has full control of the up-close game. If Johnny Cage got up close to you, you already lost, because you now have to guess through a platitude of options, and every single platitude leaves Johnny Cage at barely minus or +1 or +3, except Johnny Cage has better buttons than you, so +3 to him is probably +10 for the average player with normal buttons. This character is just very good at being in your face. So the only thing a character like Johnny needs is this safe jump, which I messed up. The only thing a character like Johnny needs is his safe jump, and he has that by himself. That punch is a +40 safe jump.
Yes.
The best way to explain Johnny Cage's design is, what would happen if, instead of cameos being the buns on the burger or the bread of the sandwich, what if Johnny Cage was the whole sandwich and cameos were the condiments? What if Johnny Cage is a fully crispy chicken wing with all the seasoning you need, and cameos were just the sauce? Like, what if I'm in the mood for barbecue wings, or buffalo wings, or maybe I just want lemon pepper? That's what Johnny Cage is. Like, it's a whole meal, it's a whole entree, and the cameos just provide the seasoning. Or the sauce. Like, so Tremor, what is Tremor's sauce? Easy, hard to blockable. Pressure. This is one of those teams where when it's not Johnny Cage's turn, it actually is his turn, because Johnny Cage also has another top tier privilege, block stud. So let me explain something to you guys about how ambush cameos work in this game. There is no push block in this game, which means most of the pressure in Mortal Kombat 1 is actually extremely fake. So usually, when you were fighting an asshole that's using Stryker bombs, you can usually block their unsafe string down 2 and then get hit by the Stryker bombs afterwards, and you're probably gonna be fine. Or worst case scenario, you fight somebody where you don't have enough time to down 2, but you could poke, and then you get hit by the Stryker bombs, and then that leads to a combo. The point is, you are actually able to move. It's fake pressure, and that fake creates mind games that open the door for offense. That's how pressure works most of the time. Well, Johnny Cage has a little bit more simple application to how his pressure works, because this move has a ridiculous amount of blocks done. This move has a above average amount of blocks done, and there's one other move that has a ridiculous amount of blocks. I forget which one it is. But because of this move, Johnny Cage can basically jail ambush cameos off of this move, which leaves Johnny Cage ridiculously plus on block, which basically forces the opponent to block again. Johnny Cage is one of like 4 characters that can do that, and Johnny Cage is the only character that can do that with a 9-frame mid, a 10-frame mid launcher, and plus on block dash. Like, Johnny Cage is the only character that can literally truck you down. There are so many cameos that Johnny has at his disposal that's literally just string into Shadow Strike into cameo. Then you have to block again. You didn't block, you died. Oh, you did block, you could still die. So Rizzy, just go ahead and show me one of your sequences. So let's say you get the first hit with 4-3-2. How do you intend to win the match?
So, let's say the match just started. Let's say I immediately get my 4-3-2. See, the ones that I usually do, I'm either gonna just, do the meterless. I'm gonna do something like this. Little hard to blocks. It's kind of hard to like confirm off that one though, because like you're so far away. Or I'm just gonna like hit confirm with Tremor.
Safe jump.
My approach, I usually try to stay meterless because Johnny he can just do that. You don't really need bar with this character.
Shake it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, weird.
Oh, you thought you have those. You don't got those. Oh, he has those. Oh, you don't got those. You don't got those.
Yeah, I'm a bum. I know. I got those.
Wait, never mind. Hold on. So, actually, there's a lot to talk about with Johnny. So, because Johnny has a 9-frame hit confirmable mid that's completely safe on blocking gapless, Johnny Cage also has a very easy safe jump option select. So, obviously, when you're in a safe jump, if you wake up armor, you die. We already know that. And if you hold block, you're basically forced to deal with the pressure. So, what is the most obvious thing that people do? They delay their wake up, obviously. But Johnny Cage can essentially react to the fact that his jump punch whiffed, do forward 3, and meaty you. And if you weren't blocking and tried to mash poke after your delayed wake up, like most people, guess what? You just got hit again.
This is true.
And then there are so many cameos that add so many layers to this option select. It's genuinely insane. So you get in safe jump. I'm gonna delay my wake up. Gonna delay my wake up. Mid check. You just died. Well, now you just eat another 30%. Delay my wake up. I block it. Mid check. Oh, Tremor's already back. It's not my turn.
Another safe jump.
So yeah, this character is going to work his way in and then stay in. So everybody kind of understands that. Now Tremor. Now, one thing, another underrated aspect of this character, notice how we kind of already covered everything that this cameo does for Johnny. Johnny is a very simple character to understand. A lot of the high-level shit that he does is extremely optional. Hell, that's probably the reason why this character is so played in tournaments, because most Johnny players, even the competitive players, they don't even use everything in his kit. Most Johnny players don't use this mechanic. Even though it's actually worth learning. Like, hype is not underwhelming. It's just the fact that he already has a fully developed game plan that why waste the extra 2 hours in practice mode labbing hype when you don't need it. But if you add it, well, I'm sorry, but you created the best character in the game. Johnny Cage is the best character in the game when he has hype mode activated. First of all, Hype is the only install super in the game that can be looped. AKA, he's the only character with an install super that you can use multiple times. Because the only thing you need to build Hype is to charge it. There are multiple ways to build Hype in this game. The first one is just doing this. The second option is this. Yeah, the taunt. So that taunt can duck high projectiles, which is why a lot of Johnny players will just do it in the neutral. You can,
if I'm not mistaken,
you get it
Johnny
after
has
doing a Rising Star.
6.
You can pretty much... There are plenty of cameos that can just make building Hype safe. Like, you can do this, and then just throw a cameo, and there's nothing they can do. Like, building Hype is not hard, especially with Tremor, who builds his cameo back like that. You can easily throw out a cameo to build Hype for free, then get in. And that's another thing with Hype. Let's explain what Hype does for you once you have it. Once you have Hype, you basically have access to the easiest way to get in. When you have Hype, the opponent has to respect everything you do or risk death. The opponent just has to respect
entirely true, but it depends on the matchup, honestly. It
so
depends
let's
on what
explain,
you do and the matchup.
So before we talk about Hype, let's talk about how powerful Johnny's enhanced moves are. The easiest one to explain is armor. Johnny Cage has the fastest armor move in the entire game. It's so fast that about 70% of the character's safe jumps in this game don't work on Johnny because they're just not plus enough. I don't even think Johnny Cage's safe jump consistently works on Nut Punch. So I don't even think Johnny Cage's safe jump works on
you can break Johnny's armor. You said to like call it out with a down one. Okay,
So I'm gonna wake up Shadow Pig.
Yeah, you just have to call it out.
Yeah, and the only reason you can even do that is because it's a high. If it weren't a high, Johnny Cage would also lose.
Yeah, that's its only weakness is it's a high.
Yeah, that's the only weakness this thing has. Like, not only is it the fastest armor in the game, it's also one of the fastest neutral calls in the game. It's the fastest neutral call in the game. With a 10-frame move, you can't do anything safely. You do anything, then... there are cameos. Like, if you ever fight a character that's just trying to play neutral from Johnny Cage has a whole team that's designed for people that want to just stay right here, away from his back three range. Like, oh, just wait until we get to Mavado. Another
Shadow
move,
Kick auto confirm.
yeah, another move that is kind of disgusting that's actually underused is Johnny's parry. Now, to be fair, I'll be fair here. Johnny Cage's parry by itself is actually not that broken. What makes it broken is the fact that you gave the only character in the game with a 9-frame mid, this move, this shit. You basically gave the character with the best buttons in the game a parry that gives him meterless combos. A meterless parry that automatically... So you can't even safely poke Johnny. It's already bad enough that the opponent has to worry about random armor. Most characters already have the layer of doing like random armor after their minus string, but now Johnny can also just add a parry to that. Now obviously you can call that out and punish like any other parry in the game. But once again, this is Johnny we're talking about. You're not just pressing on Johnny. That's not something you just do. If you know what you are doing, this parry is going to be one of the most dangerous random callouts in the game. Because you only need to use it once or twice, and then boom, that can just set up everything. Because once again, this is a meterless parry that gives Johnny Cage a free access to his BMP, which ends in a safe jump. So basically, Johnny Cage starts his win condition. His win condition is safe jump, especially depending on the teams that he's picking. With Tremor, you could do safe jump into a pressure, or you could do safe jump into hard to blockable. And if you take a safe jump into a hard to blockable and you get hit by both mix-ups, you're probably already dead. Like... And he can get started off of parry. All Johnny Cage wants to do is hit you. And he has everything he needs to do that. He has his shadow kick. He has his forward 3. He has his parry. Oh, there's one more thing. DP. Now, this did get nerfed, because I remember this being 8 frames, actually. When did they nerf the startup of Nut Punch? I don't remember when that happened. But anyways... Johnny
No,
Cage is
I'm
the
pretty sure it was always 12 frames. What they did nerf was the cost. It was originally 1 bar and they made it 2 bars.
So Johnny Cage is the only character in this game with a traditional DP. Technically, invincible cameo wake-ups were introduced later, but that's not really DP. That's something a little bit different. But a DP is essentially, or Dragon Punch, is derived from a Street Fighter 4 move that had the exact name, which was Dragon Punch. And it's basically an attack that cannot be interrupted, disrespected, or negated. It is an attack that is going to come out, and you have to deal with it. Yeah, obviously you can dodge it, it can whiff, but what makes it so powerful is that it is an invincible attack that the opponent has to play around. There is no way out of it. You have to play around this move. So, you know how most characters can break your armor or whatever. This move ignores safe jumps. It ignores a lot of the set play in this game. Johnny Cage has a get out of jail free card that can be comboed into. So this is a hit confirm. Like, he could just hit confirm into this. So, like, I don't know. So let's say I'm the Johnny player and I'm now pressuring Ricity. This is something that happened while I was fighting him using Rain. I hit confirm. I finally get a hit on him. I don't know. No, I was using Katana, right? So I was using Katana. I was doing my back 2-4 into my fan lift. I try to dash in and grab. I get DP. Like. And now Katana is actually bad again because she actually has a way around that. But in general, most characters who think they can like disrespect Johnny's armor, no, you can't because DP. And Johnny Cage can get a big reward off of it. Don't get me wrong, 2 bars is extremely expensive, but considering it's a fully invincible wake up that can be hit confirmed into Johnny Cage's safe jump, which gives him access to his wing condition, it is definitely worth it. And certain cameos are so broken that the damage Johnny Cage can get off of this DP is actually asinine. Look at Stryker.
This motherfucker did jump once, not piss me off combo.
I don't play this character. Fuck you. How the hell did you do this? This can be hit confirmed supposedly. Oh, there it is. That.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck it, control me. Death, or you can spin the machine gun and die. Or you can spin the machine gun and then they just die. And if they have hype, you're losing 60%.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shit, that shit wicked. Hold up. What was my rising star? That's annoying. I'm not used to being on player too.
But don't worry, guys. We'll worry about combos when the guy comes out. So I think that's all of the enhanced Johnny moves that are really good. Oh, we didn't talk about enhanced parry. So enhanced parry is actually pretty self-explanatory. It's the fastest parry in the game. That's all there is to it. It's the fastest parry in the game. It's the fastest defensive mechanic that exists. When Johnny Cage first came out, this move actually used to be broken because, believe it or not, this move came out and I double checked 0 frames. So what does 0 frames mean? Because obviously it doesn't come out in 0 frames. That is an animation. How could something with 0 frames have an animation? What this means is that this move acts independent of animation. And technically it doesn't come out in 0 frames, it comes out in less than half of a frame. So it rounds down. So basically, you could basically interrupt any string in this game with this move, and then get a combo for it. Tanya's whole game plan back in the day was having pressure off of her gapless forward 2 string, which was a very long string, and Johnny Cage could just parry through it. Johnny Cage could parry through gapless strings. That is why, when Johnny Cage had this move, you basically couldn't interact with Johnny at all. It already feels that way with certain characters, but when the game first came out, that sentiment was literal because Johnny Cage can parry through gapless strings. If you can parry through gapless strings, that basically means that the only way to fight Johnny is to just do standing one and then do nothing on a hard read. And if you give Johnny Cage that much power, that much control, Johnny Cage might as well be plus 10, may as well be plus 10 on everything he does regardless of actual frame data. And he could also save himself from doing unsafe things. I've actually seen Johnny players do something like this and get away with it. Like, they do a minus 13 string this, and they actually get away with it. I've actually seen it happen. Like, I can't do it now, but I wish I had footage. I'm probably going to use this footage when I make the Johnny Cage, the Nepo Baby MK1 video. Like, they would enhance parry off of negative strings. Down one. They wouldn't cancel down one into parry. They would do down one and then do the parry to fuzzy people who were reading down one cancel into parry. It was ridiculous. The best offensive character in the game should not have the best defensive mechanics in the game. That is poor balance. And while they did nerf it to not be ridiculously broken, Johnny Cage still very much has the best defensive mechanics, plural, in the game. Johnny Cage has the first, second, and third best defensive mechanic in the game. The character that has the fourth best defensive mechanic in the game is Sub-Zero with Ice Clone. And that's debatable. Like, we already talked about this move being the technically best defensive mechanic in the game because it's the fastest. Then we talked about this armor being the second best defensive mechanic that exists. And then this being the third because it's completely invincible. The only reason I say armor is better is because it costs less resources. And then there's also Fatal Blow, which is the fifth best defensive mechanic. Technically, it's the best, but it's Fatal Blow, so obviously there's that. Like, this character has too many defensive options that are better than anything that exists. It's a one-frame parry. It parries anything. Like, you could reaction something. You can react to Johnny Cage's 9-frame mid. Theoretically.
Yeah, that's a bit
you can
tricky.
theoretically react to Johnny Cage's... Okay, let me try something easier. You can react to Shadow Kick from neutral distance. That is... No other character can do that.
Oh, also, by the way, little tidbits. I know a lot of some of you new players don't know this. Pay attention to my belt buckle. It flashes, it's unblockable.
Yeah, Johnny Cage has ghetto resets off of this, actually. So, I forget how it works, but, like, basically, you land this.
You would do back two, fully charged back two. Boy, I kind of scuffed it, but you get the idea.
Yeah, so, if you delay your wake up, you are dead. If you delayed your wake up, you already lost the game.
Yeah, there's some counterplay, because if you know he's about to swing, you can mash out of it and it'll actually cancel it.
Yep, but literally, yeah, so it's kind of gimmicky. Technically, there's a mix around it, but realistically, you're going to guess right if you know what the opponent is doing. But the fact that he has that at all is what's stupid. Like I said, all you have to do is normal get up and you can just escape, maybe. But also, I'm pretty sure Johnny Cage could just let it go early. You didn't delay your wake up? I mean, like I said, there's counterplay to this. It's not crazy real in any way, shape, or form. But once again, it's just the fact that he has it at all. On top of the armor, the DP, parry. Alright, so now that we've explained why Johnny Cage has incredibly busted barred moves, I don't know why I did that. Let's actually talk about why now Hyde makes him the best character in the game. So what if everything I just said costed you no resources? That's why Johnny Cage becomes the best character in the game when he has this move.
See,
No resources, no resources.
Yeah.
You cannot. That's why you realistically cannot disrespect anything Johnny Cage does while he's in this state. Oh, there's gaps. No, there aren't. Armor, parry. DP, anything the parry can't kill you for, the DP can, and the DP can then be canceled into a dash and then killed, and then you lose 40% for it afterwards. And then there are certain cameos where after getting hit by one hype combo, you can literally infinite into another hype combo. Actually, there's only one cameo that can do that, but still.
Yeah, that's Cyrax.
Once Johnny Cage turns on this move, your only option is to hold block until you know for a definitive fact that they are unsafe. You have to hold block. You cannot mash buttons. You just can't do it. You have to take it. You have to take it. You just have to do it. So Rizzy, show me your hype combos with Johnny Tremor.
Alright, it's been a minute since I've done a mid-screen, so I don't really like do mid-screen hype combos that are like super advanced, because like you don't really need it, because Johnny's damage is kind of broken. Oh,
you don't got those. You don't got those.
I scuffed the jump too, but that's like almost 50% right there. That's not even like truly optimal.
Yeah,
that's not even like the most damage you can squeeze out.
So yeah, Johnny Cage can get up to 54 meterless, I believe, but I think that's in a quarter. Mid-screen, I think you can cap out at like 51. You can get like 51% mid-screen into a corner carry.
Let's see close, and then...
So yeah, this character is absolutely disgusting.
Let's go. You can get double jump too off of that, but it's like really tight. Yeah, it's like absurdly tight. I didn't even get the jump. I didn't even get the fucking.
Yeah, I don't find that to be that difficult.
No, but it's just really weird the time.
But I would never start off with the nut punch if I got the set before. I'm always going straight into the rising star. Not only because it scales us, but also it just makes it easy. Because if I do the nut punch first, well, now my jump punch might whiff.
Why am I dropping? Maybe I'm a bot. It's not tight.
Oh, and also, Johnny Cage is basically able to combo into hype from a normal combo off of this move. Like, all he needs to do is have a cameo that can give him this, and then it... So that's fun. And that's really useful with characters that have hype mix. So let's actually talk about that. So theoretically, instead of going for the damage with hype, which obviously is just the funnest thing to do, you can actually go for some evil mix. So we're going to talk about that more because I don't think Tremor is the best example of this. But like theoretically, you could restand somebody with double nut punch and then go straight into like either a boulder or maybe the ground pound, like, and you can restand them into it, and then that's a forward 4 or a jump 3. Johnny Cage has 1,000 in overheads. He has the overhead off of forward 3-4. He has the overhead off of raw forward 4. He has the overhead off of 2-1-2. He has the overhead off of jump kicked. Johnny Cage has 4 different overheads, which is 4 different overhead timings, which is what makes Johnny Cage's hard to blockable so hard to block. Because technically, his Tremor's hard to blockables are gimmicks on most of the cast, but when you have 4 different mix-ups with 4 different timings, what's the point of trying to fuzzy it? You're not fuzzying it. You don't have those.
Shut up.
Hold on, you got those?
I don't think this is optimal, but
you were already in after route.
Yeah, I don't really have that route.
Oh, don't worry. We can optimize it off stream.
But that's, from what Claymore told me, it's like frame perfect.
Alright, so let's talk about some more miscellaneous Tremor tech. So obviously you can DP through gaps or armor through gaps, but there's actually another option with crystalline, if you have crystalline Tremor. Johnny Cage doesn't have any gaps in his strings. I don't know. This, I think that has a gap in it. You can basically cameo wake up through that. Well, let's pretend that like that's not an option because I'm trying to find a gap string. I think this gap in this. Okay, so you can crystalline tremor out of this. So you can up cameo out of this and get a free combo. Okay, hold on. You do it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like a bit.
What the?
Oh, you can do it.
What? It's so slow that I actually get punched in the face for it. Oh, okay, try another gap string.
That's funny.
You know what? Finish the. Yeah, that one. There it is. The timing for the punish afterwards is a little.
I know more Johnny Ball than Combo does. This dude Claymore, bro.
Oh, you can't punish Johnny. He recovers too fast.
This dude Claymore funny as hell.
No. Oh my god, why isn't it? Okay, okay, no, for the love of God. Okay.
Try 4-4.
I'm just gonna use a character with I'm just gonna use not Johnny to make this point because I promise you most characters are not safe after that. We're just gonna use what's a fun little exploitable matchup? Like what's a matchup that people think Johnny sucks at but he actually does pretty well in?
Liu Kang.
Okay, perfect.
Johnny Cage Tremor.
It's mainly because of the 6-frame standing one and the staggers.
Alright, so Liu Kang has a deadly gap off of his 1-2-1. You're not on crystalline. It's up cameo. You have best def. Yeah, I should die for this. It takes a little bit of execution, but that is an easy 1-1 punish, and you can probably get a 2-1-2 as well. Like I punished gaps that are way less crazy than this because he's stuck in an animation for a while. Hold on, let me try an easier one. That's effortless. So that's just another layer that Tremor. Well, to be fair, Tremor gives this to anybody, but with Johnny Cage especially, he has two really good moves that are really good at checking this. You could probably get a forward 3 after that, actually. Oh, that's perfect. That's actually better in every way. You probably get a forward 3. Yeah, you get a forward 3. So obviously, the 1-2-1 gap also gets punished here, but like the timing is a little bit more strict. Now, there's another one. What's that?
There you go.
That's gapless? Hold on. No, I think there's a gap in this one. I think there's a gap in this. There should be.
No, there.
Hold on. There's one more gap. I think there's a gap in that.
No. Lou honestly doesn't have that many gaps, honestly.
Alright, so really just this and this. There's gotta be something. Oh, this one. That's actually gapless.
Yeah. See, I'm trying to armor right now, I'm just getting a flawless block.
So I guess this is the only gap, and this is the only gap. Okay, at least we proved that it works. Well, like, that's just another thing that Tremor gives Johnny. He just has another defensive option that's pretty good in very certain situations. And then also Johnny is able to combo into the Tremor line. Like, we already talked about the hard to blockables. I'm going to show you the hype resets off stream, but that's another thing that this team gives Johnny. I think that's everything for Tremor. So now let's move on to the next cameo.
What cameo?
I'll pick a favorite.
Oh, Cyrax, go.
Alright, so Cyrax is a very interesting cameo. In my experience, this team is all about hard resets. But it's also pretty aggressive in general. For example, I'm pretty sure this team still has a grab combo unless they change something.
Fuck, I haven't done it in a long ass time.
Not quite. The shadow kick almost goes through. I remember that part.
I'm pretty sure you can get a standing 4 off of it. I did the wrong thing.
Wrong one. Yeah, like that. And you get it like oh, you did the wrong chopper again.
Yeah, it's like weird because like it's a side switch.
Ugh. So you gotta wait a second, so you can't like get a. Oh, you like dash forward to force the same side.
You can time it right as you kick him in the dick with Cyrax copters. And yeah, I think you can get a standing 4 shadow kick, which is maybe 17%. I'm not too sure.
I think it's 20. Because Cyrax already does a lot of damage.
Yeah, because after the Cyrax launched him, because I whiffed the standing 4, it was 14-6. So I think it might be median 18, maybe 18%, because it is a grab combo with already the scaling Cyrax copters.
But yeah, so the first thing, Cyrax gives Johnny a grab combo. And fun fact, that's actually not that common. You would think the character this aggro would be grab combo city, but no, there are maybe 3 cameos that give Johnny Cage a reliable grab combo, as in it doesn't cost the entire resources of the cameo to do it. Because obviously, if we go by that logic, there are 8. But there are very few characters where if you get a grab combo off of the full cameo, it's actually worth it. I would say it's worth it with Stryker because the recharge rate is pretty good. It's kind of worth it with Tremor. That's right, Tremor does give Johnny a grab combo. I definitely forgot that. You don't really go for that often.
Oh yeah, that's because usually people just micro duck it or I just tech my grabs. So that doesn't really
Why are they teching your grabs? You're Johnny Cage. You're not killing them for 4-3 enough.
Yeah, bro, people can react to grabs like that. I don't know. You know how many times people just like on reaction to my grabs?
You can't fuzzy guard a character where the mid is actually faster than the grab. You can't fuzzy that. You're not fuzzying a fuzzy guard mix-up where the mid is actually faster than the grab for once. That makes no sense.
I want you to know, I force my mid more than my grab. People just react to grabs like that. I don't know.
You can't react to a frame.
Like, bro, they just can. I don't know.
They're guessing right. I'm sick and tired of people saying they can react to things they can't react to. You can't react to a 1 frame difference especially when the mid is the faster one. Usually, the mid is usually a little bit slower. What do you mean you're reacting to? You're not reacting to. If you can react to that, then you can definitely react to Kitana's mix on knockout. I don't see anybody reacting to her grab. You know why? Because you can't react to grabs when the difference between the mid and the grab is less than 4 frames. God, that looks like you can react to Lou's grab. No, you can't. Especially Lou's because literally it's both a fist. At least with Johnny, you can make the argument that the forward 3 is a kick, so maybe they're reacting to what body part moved first. Maybe that's what they're doing. But also, here's the thing: even if your brain can register that they did the kick instead of the grab, your body may not respond in time. The game may not respond to your input in time. All of these factors are being considered. Do you have any idea how fast frames are? I'm sorry, that was a mini rant. But yeah, Johnny Cage gives Cyrus grab combo, obviously. But the real reason you want to play Johnny Cage is for net. Because once you get net, do you know what you get? You get a free hype combo.
If I can.
So, random net into neutral, guess what? They lost the game. Right there. Yep. Time to die. And look at that recharge rate. Look at how delicious that recharge rate is.
Oh, I dropped it. Depending on how long your combo is, you can, reset it into another sequence. Okay, my ball busters just didn't come out, but you get the idea.
Yeah, so this character wants to hit you once and then automatically put you into a reset. That's literally all this team wants to do. And this team has the ability to do it.
If you don't want to go for the net reset, you could also go for a bomb reset.
Yep. And you just juggle both options, and then you combo them into hype. And once you combo them into hype, you're going to prolong the combo long enough to where you can basically reset into the other option. So you open them up with the bomb reset. Well, now you're going to do a hype combo, and then that's going to combo into net, and then you're going to get a new hype combo. That's how it, and then you're going to do a ghetto reset into forward grab, and then guess what? They get blown up, and then they die. Like, that's all this team really does. It wants to hit you once and then literally just reset you to death with net or bomb and then hype. This team is extremely simple. I think this is probably Johnny Cage's most simple team in terms of, like, goal and design. Because you're using safed up a lot less. Usually, instead of the safed up mix, you're just doing nut punch into helicopter choppers, and then you're doing it back, and then you're doing it back too. And from there, depending on whether you've already built hype or not, you're already going into your win condition. It's extremely fun. This team is also really damaging, actually. So, if I'm not mistaken, this team gets like 44% mid screen. 40% meterless mid-screen off of any touch, and then in the corner you lose like 49%, and obviously if hype gets involved, they could very well just lose everything.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, let's say
what I like to do after like my ball busters, I like to like build height, and because a lot of people try to backdash, you catch sort of forward one into another combo. For some reason, people just love to disrespect Johnny's advancing frames and shit.
Because they don't realize it's that good. They don't realize that this character is in full control 24/7 when he's in range. When he's in range, Johnny Cage is in control. If you're not already out of range, then there's no point in trying to get out of range. You won't make it. He's faster than you. But you're not going to make it. A lot of people really don't understand the disadvantage frames. People don't respect their own negative frames. It's not your turn. And Johnny Cage is the best character, the easiest character to enforce the fact that it's not the opponent's turn. That's why people hate Johnny, because he makes you suffer for trying to press when it's not your fucking turn.
He makes you suffer for being a dumbass. Trying to mash on negative frames. What's wrong with you? Oh, I dropped damage chud.
Alright, show them something so we can move on to the next game. You haven't shown them anything sexy.
Yeah, I'm not really that type for like really flashy stuff. I'm just really
You just lied.
Bro, what do you mean? I don't do fancy stuff.
It's a lie.
Bro, name 5 fancy things I've done right now.
Well, let's see. There was the Tremor combo that you hit me literally on stream less than 5 minutes ago. Then there was the other one that you almost dropped. And that's all I can think of right now. We haven't played in a while.
I guess since Cyrax is, just very basic, I suppose I could probably go sub. That was my main. Where is he? There he is.
Alright, so if by some... Okay, so this is where we need to start talking about matchups. Now, Johnny Cage's matchup chart is probably disgusting, but let's say you, on a rare occasion, you find somebody that Johnny Cage definitively loses to. You can't just play your game plan the way you usually want to play it. You need a little bit more. Shadow Kick isn't enough. Enhanced Parry isn't enough. DP isn't enough. You need more defense. Well, shall I introduce you to Johnny Sub? A wall. No, not a wall. What's what I'm looking for?
The wall, that would be Frost.
More like a slap. No. Denial. The best way to describe this team is denial taken human form. This team denies any possibilities offensively. Because if you put sub cameo on Johnny, you have created a character that legitimately has an automatic defensive response to any offense that exists. You do a mid, you're going to get ice parried, or you're going to get normal parried. And then they're going to fuse to each other. So yeah. Oh, I'll just do low. I'll just do low sweep. Well, first of all, it's not your turn. But also, parries the lows, right? But they're not going to be Johnny's DP or some Cammy's invincible wake up that they gave them for some reason, and that combos, by the way. I don't know how you mistimed that.
I'm a chud.
Yeah, that's a thing. Well, just too low. Oh, don't feel like spending 2 bars? Well, Sub Cameo also has an invincible wake up. No biggie. This cameo does everything. This cameo has every defensive option that exists. Legitimately, this team has every defensive option that exists. There's nothing that you can do. And what do you pick this team for? Zoning, of course. Because that's liturgy. By himself, that's the only thing that you could do to Johnny. Zone him out. If you pop Sub Cameo, do you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to build hype. And you know what happens when they build hype? They automatically win. Because hype cannot be controlled. Johnny Sub is one of 3 Johnny teams, which I like to call hype farmers. There aren't many teams that are genuine hype farmers where it's like they're constantly farming hype and they don't get crazy until they have hype, but Sub is one of them. There's 2 other teams that are like that, where the goal is constantly to build hype. If you are a Johnny player that loves hype and you want to use hype more, this is one of the teams you have to play. Like, Sub Cameo is usually a counter pick team, but you could honestly solo main Johnny Sub. You can solo main. If you are somebody that doesn't mind not being as aggressive as you normally are, you can solo main Johnny Sub. Because on paper, this team has everything you need. It has every defensive option that exists. Johnny Cage by himself has the best offensive normals. So all you have to do is play around your opponent's offense, you know, how they like to enforce it, eliminate some of those factors, and then slowly make them doubt themselves so you can start enforcing mid and then kill them. And this character just enables that. This character enables denial. No, not enables. This character disables. That's what this team does. It disables everything. And it's disgusting. Now show them some hype corner combos.
Okay.
Because another thing that this team has is unique hype combos using Sub-Zero parry cancel.
I don't have hype.
So this character makes you explode.
No, it's been so long since I've done this combo.
Yep, no die, they
I dropped. But like, I got 50% before I even spent a bar or did an actual Shadow Dash cancel.
So Johnny Cage's max damage here is 57, and you can actually only use 1 sub cameo cancel, combo into ground freeze at the very end, getting guaranteed back 2 MTOD. Actually, let me see if I can hit this. There's a TOD vortex. God, did I adopt your controller settings?
Maybe. The fuck?
You just
I think I can get more than that.
I was being conservative.
Combo, you gave me your bum ass control, so am I getting shadow kicks?
I
think I'm just pressing it too late.
Yeah, you gotta do a later jump kick. I mean a later jump punch, because that allows you to recover the stand 4 in time.
Like, it's honestly been like so
How are you dropping these ultimals? This is live.
Oh, I know. I really don't care. I don't care. I really don't.
Alright, now let's move on to the next cameo. We'll circle back to this team, though, once we start discussing matchup charts.
Let's see. What's another common good team? I think Goro.
This team was invented by the number one the highest placing North American Johnny player. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's a part of.
Pretty sure he was Pulse, or it was Pulse.
No, he didn't invent Goro. It's the other one. He's a firefighter now. What's his name? Because Pulse doesn't have better results than who's his name? I hate myself for not knowing King Gambler. There you go, King Gambler. That took way too long. So Johnny Goro is. So you know how Johnny Tremor has insane plus frames off of down back 3, which jails on block, which forces you to block Johnny's plus 17. So imagine that, but it only costs half a cameo, so you can do it twice. Yeah. That's gapless. And it can be way more than plus 5. You were being generous. You were hesitating. Oh, maybe not. Like, I know if you time it perfectly, it's like plus 10. I think that's the highest I've gotten. Yeah, I think the highest I can get is plus 10.
Sometimes it just like whiffs.
Well, if it whiffs, it did in jail. You gotta jail it. So the highest it can jail is plus 10. Because I've already been practicing this because I'm a kind of a Goro obsessed queen.
Yeah,
so I've been trying to see
dumb shit again, or I will leave.
How many teams work with Goro. So yeah, that's literally what this team is. So yeah, Johnny Goro is just a really fun team that gives you instant pressure. You do get a grab combo. The recharge rate is terrible, so I don't recommend doing it.
It's a weird. It works way better in the corner.
But this team does a lot of the things that Stryker does. But it's a lot more consistent, it's a lot easier to jail, and it's a lot easier to, get the opponent's respect. That's why you would pick this.
Did you drop that?
This team is actually very good at doing very simple things. It's all about making the opponent respect you, and this team is just really good at doing that.
It is 20%.
So yeah, this team has high damage. This team has good knockdown pressure. This team literally has everything you need. The only reason this team isn't as picked is because there are a lot of other teams that unfortunately give Johnny Cage this and then some, like Tremor, because Tremor also gives Johnny this, except it also has hard to blockables, which is why this team isn't as picked. But it's still a very viable team, and I do have some unique tech with this team that we'll discuss off stream and I'll showcase in the guide. But this is just another team that's really good at making the opponent respect you if they're trying to disrespect you. Now let's talk about Stryker.
You're really making me go on this chuddy cameo? How dare you?
Oh, please, everybody knows that every Johnny solo main needs to have a Johnny Stryker in their pocket. So, Stryker, where do I begin? Remember everything I just said about Goro? So imagine that, but with more damage.
It's a bit weird, honestly. So he has a lot of gravity.
You have to respect this, or die. Like, that's all this team really needs to be. This team is just Johnny Goro, but more damage. And that's terrifying. It's terrifying for Johnny Goro to do more damage than it already does.
You didn't know anything about Johnny Stryker. This dude Claymore in my DMs trolling, bro.
So the thing that makes this team really disgusting is obviously machine gun damage, which is pretty much the main reason you would pick this team over Tremor. You just need to destroy them real quick with machine gun. Like, you get max damage off of your DP, you get max damage in general. Also, even with grenades, you can get something. You can actually combo for your DP with just the grenades. You don't even need to use the machine guns. And obviously that combo is at the height. This team obviously has a grab combo.
I look like such a bot right there. Hold on.
Yeah,
First has the exact same damage as 2-1-2. It's a 2-1-2 combo. That's fun.
Let me see. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, you get really good damage off of. What's I about to do? Oh yeah, so you get a grab combo with this team, and I don't just mean off the machine guns. At least I think you get a grab combo with Stryker, unless they change Johnny's recovery off of his grab.
Wait, what are we talking about? I was lucky, just like zoned out.
Oh, I was just discussing all of the options. Obviously, you get a grab combo.
I think I scuffed it, but I didn't. I think you can maybe get more off of it, but I
Yeah, you can get 27. But anyways, you can get. So you also get forward grab shove combos, which are very fun. You also get those. You also get that with Tremor. You actually get that with normal grenades as well. But it's kind of like the cornerstone of this character's mix. A little hard to time. It's a lot more consistent, but you can obviously time it mid-screen. And this layer alone just opens the floodgates for Johnny's offense because he's already the best stagger pressure character in the game. So obviously when you add grab combos, you create a unique synergy. Then there's the safety off of the Stryker grenades. Damage off of machine guns. This team just, it just finishes Johnny off, basically. No homo. Pause. So whatever.
I don't think you needed to say no homo.
All right, next cameo.
What's another personal favorite of mine? Claymore told me to discuss Motaro for some reason.
Johnny Motaro. Yeah, hey, you ever want to be plus 13 for no reason? Like Johnny Motaro. That's it. That's literally it. Okay, I'm lying. There's a little bit more. Because Johnny, once again, is a character that just gets the most mileage out of any cameo that exists. So obviously, you get a unique conversion.
Fucking landed. There we go.
Obviously, this also combos off your DP.
What the way I'm curious. Tell them about all the times you used to bully me with Motaro. Oh yeah, I used to absolutely just bully Claymore with Johnny Motaro. It was hilarious. Because he didn't know that a lot of the strings were fake, that you can mash out of them unless they're actually plus or barely negative.
Yeah, the only reason this is less dangerous. He would just
sit there and respect it the whole time.
The only reason this is more dangerous on Johnny is because he's Johnny. But yes, you can mash out of the low Motaro shot. But also,
yeah, you can mash
Johnny
out
has more. Obviously, there's shadow kick into teleport, which is disgusting. Well, obviously you wouldn't teleport behind them, but yeah, that's a whole thing that this team does.
I don't know the far teleport option. I think it's up camera.
I think it's hold down. You have to hold up or something. Or maybe hold down. Yeah, there it is.
Hold up.
Yeah, so literally shadow kick, hold up, yeah. So it's a very annoying game if you want to play. This is the closest thing you're going to get to, Johnny Cage zoning, I think. But why would you play that way? Anyways, you also have a projectile reflect, which also can be gazebo canceled using hype. So you get hype combos using that if you don't want to use the teleport for some reason. Because, well, the thing is, that has better recharge rate, so that's why we would use that instead of the Motaro teleport. Because that way you can get a whole hype combo done and still get your combo done. That's really hard to time mid-screen. It's more consistent. But you can dash up. You could do dash up 2-1-2.
Yeah,
if you're
that is
fast.
very inconsistent. Ooh.
So this team gives you a lot if your execution is there, but if it's not, just play other teams. But obviously this team has a fully intact game plan. You can play a very annoying runaway game. You still get combos off your DP. You still have your parry. You still have projectile reflect that basically makes zoning impossible. Like, you still have everything you need. Oh god, Faden. Oh, I've seen somebody do Faden just help, but I wanted to kill myself. Next cameo.
So how many cameos are we gonna go through? Like, did you say all of them?
Ooh, well, we'll probably do all of them in the guide, but I don't want to torture you by covering all of them right now. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Mavado.
because we've already been here for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh god, we
Yeah,
have.
Claymore didn't want to see Motaro, so I'm going to do Motaro. Not Motaro, Mavado.
So Mavado is a very simple team. Shadow kick combos. It's really that simple. I press a button. Good. Shadow kick combos. That's it. That's why you would pick this team. This character is now the best whiff punisher in the game. You want to whiff punish something that's supposedly impossible to whiff punish? Use this team. That's why
Claymore,
you
no one is saying Mavado is Johnny's best cameo. Stop lying.
This is
No one
literally
says
just
that.
a simple counter pick team. This is something you pick when the opponent is clearly trying to play outside of your range. You need to check them. Probably would you use this is probably the team you would use against Sindel if you don't feel like using sub cameo for some reason. You can use this. I think that's this team's entire identity. I don't feel like using sub cameo, so I'm going to use this instead. There are very few situations where you need to counter pick and you wouldn't just use sub cameo. But there are a few characters, so off the top of my head, you would run this against Tanya, I think. I think you would run this against Tanya. Because Tanya actually kind of wins the matchup now. But you could run this against Tanya if you don't feel like running sub cameo, but a good Tanya won't spam zoning anyway, so maybe that's why you would prefer Mavado instead. Mavado gives you plus frames off of his back horn. And with Johnny's frames, that makes this really dangerous, obviously. Honestly, there isn't a crazy lot to this team. It really is just, I need to whiff punish something that's almost impossible to whiff punish. So that's why you would pick this team. Enough said. We'll discuss more when the combo guide comes out. Alright, let's talk about... ooh, you know what? Let's talk about the team that won EVO. And Final Combat. And everything else. Chameleon.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was Chameleon, the old meta.
Johnny Chameleon is still a really good team. Obviously, they fixed what was going on with FanLift that made you pick this team over any other Johnny team, but this team still has a lot to offer. First of all, it has the Glaive, which automatically lets you control space. You get combos off of your down back, so you get combos off your... So, Chameleon Lift does a lot. First of all, you get pressure and a conversion. Let me keep it on lift. So with lift, you get a lot. You get combos off you get pressure, and then you also get a conversion off of it, so it's an option select. The block stun on this is still good, so the pressure is still real, unfortunately. So you still have to deal with this. You obviously get a combo off of your nut punch.
It's been a while since I've done that.
But you also get a combo off of the normal nut punch. I mean, the DP nut punch, which is good. You should always be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty easy one, too, at that. They have all the time.
Bring off the basic nut punch is a lot harder.
Let's see, you get a grab combo, obviously.
You're still winning them?
Fuck, no, I'm a bum. Anyways, what were you saying, combo?
Alright, so you get a grab combo, obviously.
Why?
Oh, what the hell?
What the fuck?
Oh, no, you
nice
don't.
mic.
Ah, there we go. Anyways, you get a grab combo.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know how to do it, but you know.
Oh.
Oh, it's that.
I can just get that.
Maybe far.
Fuck, almost there. So how the fuck did Soundbox time this so consistently? Something like that. You get a jump too if your timing is cracked, but my timing is not cracked. It don't win character. I'm gonna have to learn this with a combo guide. It's gonna take like hours.
Good thing I'm not the one doing the combos. I'm just here for show. I'm just here to bless the people with my glorious presence.
You have a grab combo. That is the point. And then let's talk about the other ones.
Yeah, I did that one. I want to try and land it. He has to be at peak of the animation. Okay, yeah, I can't do it either. Katana's just hitting nothing.
Yeah, I'll learn the timing later. So obviously that's all you get from the Chameleon lift, but then there's more. You have Jade Glaive. It's actually pretty simple. You give a plus on block mid to a character that has the best frame data in the game. That's what.
Also, Johnny begins to lift his leg.
Oh god, is that a thing?
Oh, what? You can just throw throwing shade in there.
I thought, that combo, I was gonna be so done.
Yeah, no. I tried to like lab that. I don't think you can.
Oh, can you taunt and then get a? Can you taunt and get a stun? I mean, can you taunt the shades and then get the combo?
No, you can't.
From the glaive. Oh, that would be so sick if you could do that.
Yeah, it would be sexy, but NRS hates me.
But yeah, you get the glaive. The implications of that move are obvious, and obviously you have projectile immunity, so it allows you to get rid of projectiles, but you don't feel like playing sub cameo. So that's always nice. And once again, you get a combo, and that's into another one.
Yeah, you can get a jump 4 ball buster if you time it right, but I'm a chud and I can't.
And then you have this thing that Johnny Cage most certainly doesn't need, mix. Why does Johnny Cage need mix? Because this game hates you. Oh, I think you also get an armor combo.
Oh yeah, if I can get my armor out.
But the timing is weird. I've seen it happen.
I think you have to call out the...
Yeah, something like that.
You have to call out the size first.
I think it's better off just doing a raw back forward. I think it's better for raw, but for raw Shadow Kick call outs rather than an armor combo. Yeah, something like that. But in any case, you know, that's something. But like the main reason you picked this team is for, first of all, this grab, but like Melina's grab on Johnny is disgusting. You can now give a character with that much buttons plus frames like that. You just can't do it. And then you gave him an over, and then you want to give Johnny an overhead for some reason.
The mix on the ball roll is pretty fake.
I mean, it's a lot harder. I mean, it's a lot harder to deal with it when you're worried about that and the 2-1-2 and the 4-3-4 and everything else. It's just an extra layer. But also, Johnny Cage doesn't have any lows, thank God. So
I only have one low, and it's this 2-1-4, and it's hella slow, very reactable.
Thank the heavens, because he does not need that. He does not need loads. If you get some loads, I'll end my life. All right, now for the next cameo, and I'm excited to talk about this one. Let's talk about Darius.
Darius, oh my glorious bald king that I haven't played since he first tried to teach me.
Yeah, I showed you that tech and you did nothing with it. I'm still salty.
Yeah, that's lucky my bad.
So Johnny Darius is a very simple team, really. Hard to blockable off of safe jump that loops into itself until you die. That he can also get off of his free stance.
Yeah, basically like that. But I'm a shut and I fucked up.
Fucking let me see if I remember how to do it.
Oh my god, he learned the opties. He finally stopped doing that bullshit ass forward one. Why are we doing standing one combo? Combo lock in.
I fucked it up. And you also get a combo on it as well.
No, we don't play more. We do not play Johnny Darius.
It's disgusting. And then there's more. Hold on. That's a thing. So like that's just a fun little thing you can do. That's fun.
Ew, what is this? What is this combo?
I don't know. I don't know. I just work here. I don't know. I made that up.
This is TS not you're supposed to be combo heaven while doing non-optimals.
There's more. There we go. I think that's like the optimal.
Yes, combo. That's the optimal.
I don't remember what I did with this. I remember doing something. Maybe I just did this. Okay, so...
Yo, Claymore, do not call combos one of the greatest MK1 players. This is not true. This guy's a bum. You know, this friendly standards. I ain't wrong with that.
So that's the fun thing, right? You get a combo, you can literally, if you get that combo going, you can literally essentially vortex the mix. You can also do it for 2 bars. I mistimed it.
GPT.
And that doesn't really work without hype because you need the resources. Overhead. And that'll probably be the last thing you do in your time. It needs to be on point so you can get the rest of the combo. But the point is, you can basically use hype to essentially vortex this. And yes, you can, in fact, get the hard to blockable here. But it's kind of fake. But hey, you can also try this.
This dude combo heaven just be doing shit, bro. Oh yeah, that works. You can get a jump 4, standing 4. It's just like kind of tight. Oh, it's so tight. Excuse me.
Is this something you want to tell me, Rizzy? But yeah, this team hurts, obviously. It is, actually, no, Johnny hurts. But especially with this team, you get Vortex. Fuck. I thought I had those. Like, I could go all the way.
You don't got those. You don't got
You know,
those.
you get a standing reset Vortex. Raw overhead, let it rock. Oh, low, let it rock. I have been. Low, let it rock. But you get the idea. And that is literally the cornerstone of the entire offense. This team just wants to hit you and then vortex you.
Get a confirm and do some mix-up. That's basically what we're trying to say.
But then you also have Darius' invincible wake-up, which honestly Johnny Cage doesn't need, but he most certainly is grateful to have. You can do this on block. I don't recommend it because on hit, basically just wasting your cameo. You could probably do that, but even on that, you can say. But you know, you get an armor, so like it's something. But like you really don't want to use it for that. Because you don't need to, because Johnny Cage's strength are already pretty good. But it's there. It exists.
Yeah, some cages literally cannot armor out of that because they will armor break.
Oh, you armored through the, you went through the gap? That's funny. But yeah, that's basically Johnny Darius. It's a very simple team. What's a nice mix? What else exists? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, please leave Jen out of this. I'm not trying to like go over puppet combos. That would generally like make me want to like kill myself.
Combo. One more. You know what? Let's end off the final verdict with Sonya, and then we can talk about tier lists. So Sonya is another bread and butter Johnny team. It honestly doesn't offer Johnny that much, but honestly Johnny doesn't need that much. This is plenty. Oh, and this is nice, I guess. But, like, this is pretty much the only actual utility of this team, is this. But also, Johnny doesn't need much else. Because what he also gets is... Whoops.
You're still doing this bullshit. Don't do it. Don't you dare do jump to in the forward one. I was gonna be mad.
Fuck. Fuck.
Ooh, you pissed me off. Ooh, you pissed me off. This is some bullshit. He's doing bullshit. Claymore, I know you're watching this in tears. He's doing forward one in the middle of a combo. He's a demon.
Fuck! I don't have that.
Son, folk.
I don't know. I don't know how to sound. I don't know. This team does good damage when you have the optimum. Oh, you. So yeah, this team hurts. It hurts even more in the corner.
That watch combo failed to get the optimal 10 times in a row. Let's see. 4? 5?
Bitch.
Oh, he's a demon.
That's honestly the only reason you would pick this team. But still, this team is kind of everything once you land those hits. Because that's all this team wants to do. He wants to build hype, which he can do pretty easily. Honestly, you could just charge ring, get it for free. That doesn't work? Well, you know. I guess I'll do this instead. Ew, that doesn't work. I don't know, I guess I'll have to on my team for you guys in combat later. This team is probably his most simple team, actually, because it really doesn't offer Johnny himself much, but once again, he doesn't need much. This team is honestly the team I will probably be using when I have to main this character for a week to make an online combo video, because, come on. But if I drop this in a live match, I'm gonna kill myself off. I'm probably just gonna end up going for this. What's up? Heading out.
You GPT, stop dropping it.
That was actually supposed to be.
Back at it again.
That was supposed to be that. That one's gonna hit it. What are you? And I can honestly keep going. But nobody wants to see that.
You doing all these fancy schmancy combos just to get shit on in a real game.
I don't know how people time this.
It's not that hard.
Okay. I do not. Oh, that's not a thing.
Yeah, bro, you suck.
Bitch, run the set right now.
Ooh.
You know it's better than the challenge me and MK. He just likes to talk shit sometimes.
I agree with the guy in the back. Fucking suck.
Anyways, okay, I think you guys have seen this combo enough times for a lifetime.
Stop dropping your combo. Suck.
So that is all of the Johnny teams that we are going to be showcasing for today. Now it is time for the fun part, the final verdict. So, where do you think Johnny Cage ranks on the tier list? Reminder, you're on live.
Yeah, I'm aware, so I'm gonna try not to say some bullshit. So Johnny's bottom one. No, I'm joking. He's usually like top 5 or top 3, you know? Because we all know the top one is Homelander. That's not even a question. When it comes to like his game, you know, you want to play a very strong neutral and fundamental based game. You want to play some footsies, you know, with your backdash into the mid, where you want to catch them backdashing with your back 3 forward 1 or your forward 3. You know, you have very good standing neutral buttons. You know, 1-1-4, 2-1, standing 4. Standing 4, you know, you can enforce your mid, catch them mashing because they will try and poke out a 4-4. You know, you get a plethora of combos, routes, and just overall mind games with your grabs and your mids. Can't really react to this character because he has the best buttons in the fucking game because, you know, we love Johnny. So overall, he's a very solid, neutral, fundamental character. I believe he's very beginner friendly, and he's also super strong in a competitive scene.
Johnny Cage is what I like to call a perfect poster boy character. He's the character in this game where you can pick them and learn them pretty easily, and then spend the entire life cycle of the game learning new things and still not be done. Because we could have went through every single cameo. We didn't even run a practice session to optimize our execution with our teams. I literally just hit up Rizzy and said, "Hey, let's do this," and he was like, "Okay." If we had even given ourselves 30 minutes to prepare, this would be a very different stream. But this character has a lot. And that's kind of why we love Johnny, because he's just really good at getting you into the game and keeping you engaged with the game. Because the moment you get bored, you can just learn something else. You can learn a new team, you can learn a new synergy, you can learn a new tech, you can learn a new something. Hype alone can keep you occupied for hours. And that's honestly what makes Johnny such a perfect character. Obviously, he's probably not the absolute strongest, unfortunately. Homelander still takes that cake. But I will say that Johnny Cage is probably NRS's best designed character. It's definitely MK1's best designed character. He literally does everything he needs to do and then some. Johnny Cage is the definition of the keys to the city. One of the things that defines a high-level player is their ability to come up with unique solutions to cover your weaknesses. Johnny Cage is a character where any option your opponent has, you have an automatic answer to that option. It's right there. You don't have to dig for an answer to something. It's one of Johnny's normals. This thing is annoying. It's one of Johnny's normals. Just go to the lab, figure out which normal it is, and then use that when you think they're going to do that thing. That's it. No other character can say that. No other character can say, this is a very annoying thing I had to deal with. How do I do it? Just run through all of Johnny's normals. One of them checks it. Oh, he checks all of the normals. One of Johnny's specials beats it. Just lab it. Because once again, Johnny Cage has every defensive option that exists. He has every offensive normal that exists. He also has some of the best combo potential in the game. If we take hype into consideration, Johnny Cage has every type of combo capability that exists. He has trade combos, he has gazebo cancels, he has cameo cancels, he has dash cancels, he has charge cancels. I could go on. He has stagger extensions, he has a double launchers, he has meterless launchers, he has meterless relaunchers, he has everything he needs. He has restand extensions. Johnny Cage is somebody that you can just mold into any synergy, any team comp, anything you want. Johnny Cage has legitimately everything you need to succeed and everything you need to enjoy the game. I honestly wholeheartedly recommend that if you are somebody that doesn't want to give up on this game just yet, you should probably consider maining Johnny, because you'll have a fun time. This character has everything he needs, he doesn't suck, and he's also fun to play. There are not a lot of top-tier characters that are actually fun to play. Homelander Farah, it's not fun to play. It's boring. It's blah, 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 blah,
standing
Farah.
1-2 into stagger, Farah, mix up, blah, 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 forward, command grabs. Like, it's
Sindel?
so boring.
Sindel is not fun to play. You're zoning most of the time, and the only cool thing she does, you only do once and then it's over. Who else is top tier that's not fun to play? Who else is in the top tier? Just somebody else. T1000. Okay, T1000 is kind of fun to play. But
Cyrax is low-key kind of boring.
Well, Cyrax, well...
Like
Cyrax
be so
isn't
for real.
fun to
You literally
watch.
you just hit confirm, bomb, jumping 2-4, bomb, jumping 2-4.
No.
into
Cyrax,
meter
you
burn.
can get creative with Cyrax. Cyrax is fun to play. She's not fun to watch. Johnny Cage is fun to watch. Unless they're calling you out with back three. I'm so sorry. I had nothing to me up more than when Johnny Cage calls me out with back three. Every single time I get hit with a Johnny back three, I just want to sit in the third third. Bro, I was literally sending...
Guess what?
Well, actually, this is alleged because you have no evidence that I did this. But allegedly, I may or may have not said a very bad word to a Johnny player that was doing random back three on whiff. They were whiffing down one and then back threeing, and then it was working because Katana's back two doesn't quite have enough range to tech you for that. So I had to use sweep. Oh, you're -6, you're backdashing and doing back three, and my back two can't check it. I have to do sweep? Are you dead ass right now? What do you mean my back two can't check you? You just did forward 3, 2, 1 and backdash into back three and got away with it because my back two just barely doesn't have enough range.
Yeah, because
What?
I'm the better player.
So I started sweeping, and things got better, but I was still very annoying. I've gotten to that point with MK where even when I'm winning, which is often because I'm good now, I'm still pissed. I'm winning, and I still want to delete the game, but that's
Run
neither
my
here nor
set
there.
right now. You don't win those. You don't win those.
You think we can run the set? Hold on, let me just get to the part. We already talked about his tier list. Oh, let's talk about Johnny Cage's match return, then we can run the set. So I don't know if you've actually made a matchup chart list. No, Noir actually made a list and showed me while the stream was going on. So just tell me about all of his obvious winning matchups, like uncontestable. You can't argue against that fact that he wins this matchup.
All right. Reptile, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Noob.
So he kills all the ninjas. That's awful.
Yeah, he kills most of the ninjas. Ermac. I'm pretty sure. What else? Peacemaker. What else?
Huh, Noir would disagree. Wait,
Really?
I read his matchup chart wrong. He actually wrote it down as 2-8.
Yeah, no. Noir thinks Johnny beats Peacemaker 8-2.
Yeah, I'm reading through Noir's
wait,
matchup chart. Yeah, he has Johnny listed as 2-8. So, ooh. I don't think any matchup is a 2-8 except maybe Quan Sub. I don't think any. There are not a lot of matches that are 2-8. Is basically you can't breathe without permission.
Yeah, okay, speaking of Quan, I'm pretty sure Johnny beats Quan, although it's kind of annoying because Quan's like, his portals are just kind of like a big fuck you in the face whenever he gets them out. What else?
Yeah, the thing with you would think Quan Chi beats Johnny, but no, because if you threw portal, I'm shadow kicking you out of the portal, and now you're not in the portal, and therefore I don't care about portal, so you try something else.
Yeah, but if he actually gets it out, it's kind of a big fuck you. I just have to sit there and block. Or
Yeah, if you open, if Quan Chi opens you up and then forces you into the portal mix, yeah, you're dead. But why are you getting opened up by Quan? Are you garbage?
Yeah, let's see. Johnny beats Shang. He beats Sector. What else? He beats Shao. He beats most of the Royals except for like Tanya, that's because of a range. That's like a 5-5, maybe 6-4 matchup, depending. What else?
So I just looked at Noir's tier list. He put Smoke as top 1. What? I'm sorry. Smoke top 1? Just armor break it. Just armor break it. I know it's disgusting. Just armor break it. It's a slow ass armor. Oh god. I'm gonna rant to Noir off stream. But okay, but continue.
He beats Ashra, which it's kind of annoying because of a range, but that's really about it. What else? He beats Lee May because the parry beats her staggers. What else? Who else is there? Pretty sure he beats Ghostface. You know, Johnny wins most of the matchups in the game except for like I think maybe 2. And that's like Tanya and someone else. I don't remember.
And the reason his match chart is so good isn't even just because of his core game. It isn't just because of his core fundamentals. I mean, it's a big reason, but it's not the whole reason. It's his cameo synergy. Johnny Cage is competitively viable with a lot of teams. Usually, characters are only competitively viable with like 5 teams. Even top tiers adhere to this rule. Some characters are really only competitively viable with 1 team. If you're not using Pharah with Homelander, he's actually not that bad. You can bullshit out of I use Raiden, so maybe that's why I don't really care about Homelander if he's not using Pharah. But like there are a lot of characters in the top tier that can really only use 1 cameo. But Johnny can use every cameo. Well, I wouldn't use Serena, but it's not even that Johnny Serena isn't competitively viable. It's just that there's nothing new. You're just playing normal Johnny with a fast projectile. But, like, Lao is right there.
And Lao gives you more potential.
So, yeah, all of the matchups you would run Johnny Lao for, you could run Johnny Serena for and be fine. But, like, just use Johnny Lao because you get what Serena gives you and more. So...
The only difference between Lao and Serena is Serena gives you the meter control options, which is with the burn and build. Lao gives you the launcher and the hard to blocks.
Yeah, but if you prefer meter drain, you would probably just run Cyrax over either of them if the meter drain is the real winner here. Because
I mean, there's also the meter build option, so.
Oh, well, does Johnny need his meter like that? Because, like, yeah, DP is nice, but Serena is a character where you can't combo off the DP, so what do you need the meter for if you're using Serena specifically?
it's just nice to have, I guess. You know, you always get your breaker available.
I get, yeah, like I said. Well, so with Serena specifically, Johnny's core kit is probably carrying that. But in general, Johnny Cage just has way more cameo synergy than anybody else. Even if Johnny Cage isn't literally competitively viable with every cameo in the game, the amount of cameos he is competitively viable with blows any other out of the water. Like, off the top of my head, I know Liu Kang is comp viable with like a few good teams. Katana is comp viable with a few good teams. But none of them come close to Johnny. Off the top of my head, the only character that probably has a lot of viability is like, oh no, if we followed the 5 cameo standard, Sector maybe has 7 competitively viable teams. So Sector would somehow be close. That's it. Everybody else, they're actually stubbed. Even Katana, at this point, I would really only say is competitively viable, like 4, maybe 5 teams. So yeah, Johnny Cage's cameo synergy is ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. It almost feels broken. It's not, because it's not a factor in actual competitive play until we get into matchup charts. Johnny Cage can just competitively viably use so many teams. Like, there are so many characters where you can't use subs cameo, therefore your matchup chart is way worse. But Johnny Cage can use sub cameo. But he can also use Mavado. And he can also use Chameleon. And he can also use... I can go on.
If you want cameo, projectile, I mean, you got Tremor, forward, you got Crystalline forward punch. It reflects some projectiles. You have Motaro reflect, Chameleon Jade phase, sub armor. What else is there? I feel like I'm forgetting one. That's just 4 I just listed.
Yeah, if you need to hype farm, you can run sub cameo. You can run there's what was the other team we didn't cover? I know there's another team that hype farms really well. I think it's the better hype farmer between the two. What was it? Hype farmer. What was it? Janet. That's why you would use Janet. So Janet Cage is actually really disgusting. We're not covering it because I don't have the execution for that right now. But Janet Cage is actually is a crazy aggro team. It increases his stagger pressure tremendously. He can hype farm with no consequences because Janet Wall, legitimately, if Johnny puts Janet Wall, you have no choice but to just sit there and wait for him to build his hype. The only character that could do something about Johnny Janet walling and to hype is probably Scorpion, and that's not going to work out the way you think because Scorpion teleport is a high. And I can't even begin to tell you all the ways that could go wrong for you. Off the top of my head, Janet. Yeah, I think Janet is the hype farmer too, but there's another one. What else?
Yeah, if you want Johnny Janet tech, go hit up Desperate Cheeto. He's the Johnny Janet kind of guy.
I kind of remember all the time, but I'm just thinking of other teams that hype farm because I'm trying to remember. I guess the best hype farmer is probably Cyrax, which we did actually talk about, but that's after the net. So you basically hit the net, you automatically.
That's after you get to confirm.
Sonya kind of hype farms, but like you could get around the projectile. You can get around it.
Mm-hmm. No, you can just jump. You can flaws block it, take no damage.
Yeah, there was 1,000 ways to hype farm. It's not even just Janet Wall. You can also just do Shadow Kick, do triple Janet. They can't do anything about that. Actually, you build 2 hypes. You could actually build 2 hypes. You could build full hype and be -10 from full screen, or minus like 15. It's negative, but like the Shadow Kick and the triple Janet pushes them so far away. Most characters can't do anything about that. So you can build both hypes for free, basically. Like if Scorpion Spear can't punish that, I don't think anything else could. Sub-Zero farms hype more than Janet? I don't think so, because. Maybe if the sub freeze froze you long enough to just get both automatically, and then that combined with sub armor, I would say sub cameo hype farms more. But I would say Janet hype farms the most. But like those are the types of teams you would need. So you would hype farm against a character that either somehow, some way has a stronger up close game than you? Question mark. So, like, you would hype farm against Homelander. You would hype farm against Lou, maybe. You would hype farm against T1000 for sure.
Oh,
you would hype farm against somebody where they can't get a turn.
Cyrax.
Like, if you are fighting an opponent where they just can't get a turn, you need to hype farm. So Cyrax, if you're fighting a Cyrax, you need to use Johnny Sub. You have to use Johnny Sub. You have to use Johnny Sub and hype farm. If you don't hype farm, you lose. You have to hype farm against Cyrax or you lose. Because you need hype, because you need to constantly oppress them, you need to hype farm. Yeah, that's actually the disgusting matchup. I still think Johnny Sub versus Cyrax is only 5-5, but still, it's like the only way you can fight. You need Sub Cammy to fight Cyrax. Cyrax is I can't wait to hit a Mountain Dew so we can talk about Cyrax, because Cyrax's match chart is even more disgusting than Johnny's. Because you straight up cannot fight Cyrax on paper if you do not have Sub Cameo.
Nah, Johnny can beat Cyrax, you just have to play very weird.
They can't touch you. If you're fighting an optimal Cyrax Madame Bo, if they touch you, you already lost.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that. That's like hell on earth.
Yeah. If you're fighting an optimal Johnny Cyrax Bo, your only option is Johnny Sub, because that way you might survive if they touch you. But more importantly, you can stay full screen, hype farm, and just consistently keep it on your and just constantly keep the neutral on your terms. Because the only weakness that Cyrax has is that her neutral is not that great. It used to be decent, but then they nerfed the projectile. So I guess you could also use Johnny. I guess that's one reason you would use Johnny Serena right there, because Sonya rings might not be fast enough. So if you wanted to exploit Cyrax's neutral weakness, you could use Johnny Serena or maybe even Johnny Sonya if the rings actually are fast enough, and nuke her for trying to do that. But then it's a summon cameo, so the sub cameo is still just better. Because they can't throw out the bombs to get in for free. They can't throw out the net to get in for free. They can't throw out anything to get in for free. You get to build hype, and then if they teleport, you can farm them and die. So you control the neutral. But, like, yeah, he beats
what I like doing against Cyrax players whenever they try and throw out their back forward one, the fucking hit confirm that foams you. I like to do the forward crystalline punch on Tremor and reflect the projectile back at them. It's fun.
Yeah, but the recovery is too good for that to work on somebody that knows what they're doing. She just recovers too quickly. That would be a great nerf for her. That would be a great nerf for her. Some recovery. Instead, I would actually rather a capture from recovery nerf than what they actually did to it. Because giving it the Reiko treatment was honestly was fine for some, but worse for others. I would rather she just get punished for throwing it out. Like reflecting kills.
Yeah, and with John, you can just on-reaction shadow kick. If she tries throwing the bombs on the ground like she usually does, you can just on-reaction shadow kick, so that's not really a big deal.
So yeah, and also parry. Oh, I almost forgot that parry is really useful against Cyrax. Because if they don't you have to use a special mix for Johnny's parry, because parry will beat both options, because there's no low. Cyrax has a low, but it's unsafe, and it doesn't combo into bombs properly. So literally, they're either going to do forward 2, or they're going to do back 3, or they're going to do grab. And parry beats all of those options. And then it's going to dodge the bombs because it's teleporting behind you. Like I've already covered it before on Twitter, but Johnny is actually a really good option against Cyrax in general. Like defensively, Johnny is your best bet at getting out of Cyrax's pressure. Tanya, at first I thought it was Tanya because she can also parry the bombs themselves, but her parry is too slow. And Johnny just has better synergy with Sub-Cameo than Tanya does. So I actually do think that Johnny is the best. Johnny is just your best bet at getting out of Cyrax. Realistically, if you were fighting a Cyrax build and knows what they're doing, you are not getting out of Cyrax anyway. But if you could, it's going to be with Johnny's parry and Sub-Cameo. Because you can literally Johnny parry, Sub-Cameo, forward 3-2 with no consequences, and then they die. What else? Okay, so losing matchups. I'm sure at least one exists. Losing matchups. Damn, did he teleport off screen again? Ah, there we go. Losing matchups.
Johnny's losing matchups?
Yep, losing matchups. If they exist.
He only has like 2. It's like Homelander and maybe Tanya, and that's really it.
Alright, so explain that match. Actually, let me get on Tanya, because I actually know a little Tanya.
The only thing that really, like, fucks with Johnny is the fact that Tanya doesn't really have that many gaps to exploit. like how he used to on day 1. And Homelander's just Homelander. He has like little to no gaps, and his range is kind of fuck ass.
Johnny Cage.
So one thing, so before Johnny destroyed Tanya because the parry could just parry through the micro gaps in her thing, but now you can't do that. So matchup probably becomes it becomes interesting.
It becomes a bit tricky because like it's kind of weird to get in because of her range. I'm on. Yeah, why on Sonya? I mean, Johnny can just enforce his, is that fucking, that's a mid, no, that's icky. Yeah. Although Johnny does have the better buttons, but her range kind of like neutralizes that. Yeah, you can't backdash out of this skill.
Okay, that's kind of disgusting. But unfortunately, Tanya doesn't do enough damage, so Johnny can. So what'll save Johnny in this matchup is that Johnny can kind of war of attrition this, because the team Tanya would need to play to annoy Johnny would sacrifice what little damage she has. So it's death by a million paper cuts. Meanwhile, you can kill Tanya way faster. Basically, Tanya gets punished more for being wrong than you do. Good. Like one wrong parry, I die. But I think that's all there is to do. And obviously, Homelander potentially winning the matchup is kind of obvious. Forward 4 into Homelander into fair offense. The problem with Homelander is that nobody can counter his offense when done properly because it jails for some reason that I do not understand.
Yeah,
so shouldn't be able to jail into flight.
Standing 4, it's just his jailing is like actually like broke. You cannot armor it at all.
Should not be able to jail into flight. Take it away.
And if he catches you trying to up block, he's going to either grab you or he's going to enforce that little monkey ass down 4.
Yeah, there are too many options that be up block. Like the low and Farah alone, and then the command grab alone just makes you think twice about up block. You'll never up block.
Although what does like limit Homelander's abuse of his forward 4 is Johnny can punish it with his mid.
Like that's the only thing. That's the only thing, and that's why Johnny Cage probably be Scorpion too, because you can't play Farah against Johnny. Again, like with Scorpion specifically, Johnny's reaction armoring every single time. Reaction armoring. You're never getting a Farah off. You're never gonna open Johnny up traditionally the way you would with Scorpion Farah. So now you have to use Scorpion's normal buttons to open Johnny up, and that's just never gonna work because Johnny has better buttons than you. Yeah, you lose this matchup. It's probably not terrible because 2-1 could probably be useful, but no, back three is going to check that. Because if back 2 loses to back 3, there's no way 2-1 is going to win that. Sub losing to Johnny is obvious.
Yeah. The only thing that really kind of saves Sub is whenever Johnny's in hype, if he does Rising Star Ball Buster, you can EX Ice Clone out of it and get a full punish.
The only, all you have to do is wait out flow. Once Sub-Zero wastes his clone, he's dead. Lee May, she can't touch him.
Yeah, no, the parry just shuts down Lee May, honestly.
Lau. Actually, I don't think Lau loses this matchup, but that's only because he can play annoying. I don't think if she loses
this matchup. Versus Johnny is like a 5-5 matchup. It really just depends on the player.
Oh, actually, Raiden.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Raiden. It's like 5-5.
At first I thought Raiden won this matchup, but then I did more study. Johnny Cage is like the only person that has options to Raiden's down back 2 nonsense. Johnny Cage is one of the only characters that could do something about me just spamming. Why does he keep doing that? Johnny Cage is the only character that could do something about me just spamming this move nonstop. First of all, Shadow Kick, easy punish. Punish. So again, so right there, I can't down back 2 get back. So literally, I have to spin the Goro every time. Already.
Yeah, that doesn't have a gap. I'm trying to armor that.
Yeah, there's no gap. It's gapless plus 10. Now, don't forget what this team is. It's the bane of your existence.
Yeah,
that's helpful. But like, Raiden can't play neutral against anyone, let alone Johnny. So Raiden wants to get a down back 2. That's how he plays his neutral. He gets a down back 2. And Johnny Cage is really good at baiting out down back 2 and killing me. Because if I don't use down back 2, I don't have any options against Johnny at all. Alright, let's get to the set. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the Johnny Cage Definitive Combo Guide releasing very soon. Featuring Grizzly Sigma.